We are live on YouTube now.
Oh, perfect.
We are live on YouTube now.
Oh, perfect.
We are live on YouTube now.
Oh, perfect.
We are live on YouTube now. Now, if you receive the email, you should receive it now. Dipti, how long you gonna stay? You stay until 2:15 until Brian? So because I feel like you have a lot to share, right?
Yeah, I'm going to even be even when the Brian is giving, I'll still be here.
Okay, so
I mean, I'll still be on the Zoom, but we'll keep running around my errand so that I can listen to what he is actually telling because I looked at his presentations and all that, and that seems pretty useful.
okay, sounds good. So he will be there at 2:15 then. Sounds good.
Perfect. Can you check the waiting room? Because I have been hearing complaints from my friends. They are nobody's admitting them. I cannot hear. Mary, you're on mute.
It's just that's the issue we're having because I think I was working on some other things. People was trying to join. Um, I think Jane was trying to talk. It's like when you do not have someone on the back end, it's hard. So yeah, I have it on. We do not have anyone coming in for now.
The future belongs to the entrepreneurs who act now. This is your invitation.
So everyone should receive a Zoom link right now. thing to join now. Someone is joining. Hello, welcome to the Zoom, welcome to the AI Summit.
Hi everyone, welcome to the AI Summit. We are looking forward to having you. Mary, can you just replay the video to get the people highlight what they can expect today?
Okay, let me play the video.
We'll be starting shortly while other people are still joining in.
Your future starts here. Your future.
Hello, everyone. This is Mary speaking. So today we're going to have two speakers. We have Deepti and Brian. So we will start with Deepti presentation in a minute. We're just waiting for more people to join. So Deepti, do you have anything to say before your presentation, before you share your screen? But I just wanted to remind everyone that we have a boot camp. So the boot camp will be for 30 days. And also I know we have a few people who work on weekdays, like Thursdays and Friday. They didn't have the chance to join those 2 days. We also have the recording available. So all you can do is just upgrade to VIP, and so you can have the recording and all the PDF format or the bonuses that we have to offer. Zipti, if you have anything to share, so you're welcome to share. Let me give you unshare my screen. Hold on.
Thank you, Mary. Hi everyone, I'm Deepti. I am a data engineer at Gift Health as well as a vibe coder. I have built more than 10 applications and won many hackathons till date. A couple of vibe coding tools that I use on the regular basis are Claude, Lovable, Replit, Base 44, Codex, Cursor, and I've also been experimenting with the workflow automation tools like Relo, Toolhouse, Twin, N8N, Zapier, Make. And I have realized that these tools have made my life a lot easier. Before we get started, let me show you something funny that I had actually built because I was trying to experiment with one of the tools, Agent.ai. So this Agent.ai actually creates the videos. So I actually told Agent.ai that make my digital twin and create a video of me being Miss World as an
The
world.
moment we've all been waiting for, the new Miss World is deep dye. Dreams do come true when you have the courage to pursue them. This crown belongs to every girl who was told her dreams were too big. Thank you for this honor. Let's change the world, one heart at a time.
So this video was actually created just when I was just experimenting with this tool Agent.ai, and I could not be more grateful seeing myself in this avatar. And then I had also created like another funny video.
Welcome to this sun-drenched rooftop session. Let's get into the rhythm and start with some high energy movement. Feel the energy and follow the beat. It's all about smooth transitions and sharp kinetic snaps on every count. Bring that energy to the peak. Keep your focus sharp and your movement grounded. You're doing great. And we'll slow it down right here. Thank you for joining me for this rooftop dance break. See you next time.
And there's one more.
Phase 1, we're starting with sharp kinetic snaps. Feel the rhythm hit with every movement. Now let it flow into a smooth rhythmic drift. Weightless silk motion, perfectly in sync. And hit that final pose. High energy, sharp focus, absolute confidence, amazing work.
So what do you guys think about this dance? I do not know how to dance, but Agent.ai made me possible to create this video where even I could be a dancer. So you can see that AI and vibe coding has too much power to create videos and everything. So we are not covering Agent.ai today, but if you want to actually learn more about Agent.ai, I'll encourage you to join our boot camp. It's really useful that we will be covering more of these topics in details. And today, our tool we are going to cover is Replit. It's a pretty interesting tool. I just started it as a fun project and ended up creating a company because I built a product and I was like, should monetize it. So I've become like an entrepreneur just by building using vibe coding. So you can build a simple website for yourself. You can build mobile app. You can do, instead of using Canva, you can, if you're a UI UX designer, you can use Replit to design your application. You can create documents, you can create slides, you can create data visualization if you're a data analyst. You can create spreadsheets, you can even build 3D games out of it, you can create animation videos out of it, and even you can create something blank. Replit has quite a lot of power. So let's actually start by building firstly an animation, and let me go to the Claude, and I'll just try to put like something simple to be built. I'll ask Claude, I want to build a 60-second animation using Replit explaining how AI is disrupting job market and software engineering. Give me the prompt I can put in Replit. So whatever I want, I will first coordinate with the Claude to get the required prompts, and then I'm going to put it straight up in Replit. So it's so while the Claude works to create a prompt for me, let me actually put this one as it is so that I actually have like a comparison of the prompt and if I put something directly. So you can see that the Replit has begun working. Okay, now here's a prompt for the Claude, and this one is actually mentioning the text tag, visual style, and even the storyboard and some content rule and the final deliverable. So it's actually asking some tweaks as well, the Claude. that if I want a downloadable video instead of a browser player, so I can just swap the stack line for build this as a Remotion project to be structured as a 60 sequence frame based scenes at 30 fp. So let me actually ask the Claude itself that I actually want a video as a final deliverable. Can you refine and regenerate the complete prompt? Well, let's see what the Claude gives. And let me send you the invite to everyone who is interested in being able to use Replit. So and anyone can become collaborator with me. Now I have got the refined prompt from the Claude for the video, which says that build a Remotion project that renders a 60-second animated explainer video titled How AI is Reshaping the Job Market and Software Engineering. Final deliverable and exported MP4 file. So it's firstly defining the text stack, then visual style, and then giving the storyboard. So why I want to lay emphasis on the storyboard is that, so whenever you are actually making a movie, let this animation be itself, you need to first go to the storyteller that, okay, can you write a story on it, and then divide it by scene. So simply the Claude actually break down my work into different sequences. Like it's first giving that in the first frame I want like a grid of job titles, and the second frame the routine task, and the third frame a more code editor types itself, then an AI engine auto completes and refactors a block, and then caption AI now. So it's giving like divided the entire video into 6 scenes, and even it has given the content rule and defined the final deliverable. So let me just paste this one and see how is the comparison between this one and the one I had just created randomly as a baseline to I can easily compare which one is a better. And what's interesting about the Replit is that you can actually create multiple tasks with the agent for while one task is running. Like I can go here and start like, okay, can you also create a presentation on the topic how AI is disrupting job market and software engineering. So we will have like a video as well as presentation on the same topics being built out simultaneously. And let's see how the video from the Claude prompt is working on. Okay, so you can see here it's using the multiple agents to build the entire video. And it's also mentioning some comments that on the approach, like the content, storyboard, and the timing specified all to be honored, and it will build on Replit's animation stack rather than the Remotion, which is not supported by the video pipeline. And it will also give a live preview plus a video export directly from the workspace. So it's working on building this one, and it's, if I scroll down further, it's giving me different tasks, like it's implementing different style, it's refining visuals and content, and then creating different necessary files simultaneously. It will take like a little more, 2 or 3 minutes for the Claude prompt to work, but we do already have something by the simple prompt I had pasted in the Replit. Okay, so you can see that enter the era of 100x engineer, and now update and while so it's still working, but I do see even by not giving a concise prompt, Replit did generate something. It created all the scenes and everything on its own thinking and intelligence, rather than me telling and dedicating it same. And you can see that this is pretty impressive. This is also pretty impressive, and I think this is okay. This has already worked on creating the scene, the one by the Claude prompt, and let's see how the other task of the presentation is going on. Okay, okay, it's still in the planning mode, and I see that okay, it's created a markdown file on AI disruption presentation, and this is just like an artifact. It's different, and it mentioned that it is a different format from the video, so it belonged to its own artifact. So it already was able to differentiate that. In the first task I had asked for the animation, but the second task I wanted a slide, so it gave already the task altogether. And then since the other task is still in working on, and it's using human in the loop and mentioning that I have already created this task plan, AI disruption presentation, and if I should start building it or not, I can review my task plan and then decide if I want to start building it or not. And even if I want to revise, I can revise it. Let me just start building this on it itself. And I think it's already giving did a pretty great job. And if I go back to the animation, let me go on publish this one so that everyone can see what it is doing. And while for the presentation one, let me go and reply what's the ask. So it's asking me how long the slides should be, so I can make it like a brief 3 to 6 slides, and even there's option of a custom one too. Let me go back to the video. It's still under publishing, and you can see that for this task it's now asking me the different visual themes. So to choose, I can choose what I want. And you can see easily I'm actually doing the multiple tasks within the same workspace in the Replit, and there's also human in the loop being involved. I'm creating a video, I'm creating a presentation on the same topic. And in a lot of other tools, this is actually not possible. And if I go back to the other video as well, the one by the Claude prompt, this is almost also done, and so far it's also looking pretty good. Okay, so I think my project is live. Let me see the initial animation video. Okay, it does not have any sound, so I can make a feedback that I want a sound. And if I look at the content, this looks actually pretty interesting for a 60-second video. It's mentioning the phase 1 automation routine code is now free. So as a software engineer, I definitely agree to this feedback. And then it's mentioning the evolution of engineer has become from someone writing syntax to now directing system. Like now these new roles are AI orchestrator, prompt engineer, and it's like the era of 100x engineer. One developer orchestrating a fleet of AI agents capable of building and maintaining the entire stack. This is pretty good. So it's actually even giving a message: either you adapt or be automated. The transition is already happening. You can see it's a pretty high quality video, and let's actually revise it a little bit to add some sounds as well. So I can ask my agent, like in the video, I want some sounds too. Okay, before that I need to reply to confirm the presentation I wanted to get made from the Replit. So it's asking the agent, like, this is a draft for each slide, and right now I'm not changing it, but I can see that I can edit it as needed or even add news line. So let me send that one and let me go back to my video and ask the video that in video I want some sounds too. Currently it do not have any sound. Let's see how it works. Okay, now Replit is telling that it's trying to generate background music again. Credits may have topped up since last time. Okay, so it's even checking how much credits I have. And everyone, how do you feel so far with Replit? And let me know if I'm going too fast.
It's my first time learning about Replit. It's brand new to me, and I think if anyone have any question, they can drop the questions on the chat, or they can we can have a Q&A at the end of your session. People can ask questions.
And in fact, I've actually dropping the link again in the chat if anybody wants to build something along with me as well. So I would encourage everyone to try and building things with me. Okay, now I see that. Would you like to me set up everything, then actual audio file now? The mute audio and audio writing so that moment credit are available. Oh. Okay. I think I ran out of the credits, so I can just say that, yeah. Want audio. Can you
Just
talk?
letting you know you're not sharing. I don't see you're not sharing your screen.
Oh, okay. Yep. So you can see the Replit. It's telling that the audio generation is out of credit on my account, insufficient credit. So I can just mention that I really want audio. Can you top up my account? I see. So it does not have access to the billing. So let me recharge my Replit account a little bit. So I can continue building. I can just go to the billing and try to recharge it. Give me a second. Let me stop sharing my screen so that I can do the recharge. Give me a second. I'm still trying to recharge.
Just to let you know, we have a few people. I'm live on YouTube. A few people are also watching on YouTube.
Okay, there's some issue with the audio one. Oh, wow. We're currently investigating the issue. Oh, okay. That's interesting. It might be the Replets issue. So probably we can drop this for now and go back to the initial one. It seems like a Replets internal problem. So I can also tell the okay. So how the Replets audio generation works is through AI media credits that are separate from your original plan. Probably I'll have to sync up with the Replit support team later to see that how they can do that. But if you look here in the taskbar, it gives a prompt where I can talk to the agent if I want to add any feature and even choose my plan, how I want the agent mode to be light, which do not allow app testing, or full or turbo. And then there is a economy plan which enables app testing. But if I want more high effort task, I need it. I'll be charged separately. And then there's a power mode, which is which uses more high performance model and very useful for the complex work, especially larger changes in my application for more reasoning level tasks and longer builds. And in this kind of a task, I did needed the power mode because I was trying to build out a video, and it allows also app testing. I can enable high effort as well as turbo mode for faster mode, and which is the turbo mode actually uses advanced models like Claude, which generates the code pretty quickly and costs more. And then if here we have like a plan mode, which will plan my tasks and then ask me to review the task, and then I can build it accordingly. Then in the plan mode, maybe I can just ask, I want to change this video from 60 seconds to 2 minutes and add like a backup for audio for now. So let's see how in the planning mode Replit agent is working. Meanwhile, I do see that my slides are actually ready. So you can see that I asked the Replit while creating the video to even create a slide on the same topic. Like it has created like a future of work AI and the future of work. And the second slide, it's mentioned about the broader shift in the AI is doing in the job sector market. And if you look at these slides, these are pretty high quality slides altogether, and it uses the template I had chosen and even the audience, and even asked me to review the content in each of the slides. And I think the slide is pretty impressive, like compared to the some of the other tools I have been using. And in fact, you can see here, it's also giving me the sources from where it got this data to back up its finding. Like it's mentioning here, engineering in focus, software engineering in focus. What is the projected job growth? 17.9%. And how many software developers are in US alone? 1.7 million. And what are the upcoming openings which are expected in the software engineering? And it mentioned also about that. And meanwhile, I had gone to the plan mode to create my video. It created the action plan for generating the video to extend it to 2 minutes, and also a backup for the audio. And it's asking me instructions like this video currently runs for 60 seconds and have 5 scenes for 12 seconds each and has no sound because AI music generation service is out of credits. But now the user wants the video length to be 2 minutes and wants audio to be added now using a backup non-AI generated track. So the video is no longer silent. When audio credits are restored later, the backup track can be swapped for a proper AI generated score. So it gave me the things and then asking, should I build it in the background or I build here? Let me choose build here. And go back to review my slides I had created previously. I can even view this plan and let's see. Yep. So if I go back to the AI job description, I can go back to this is my active task, and it is telling that it has transitioned from plan to build mode altogether and working on building the video. And I had also created another video using Claude's prompt, and let's actually publish this one too and make it like a AI disruptor, and I can do a little comparison between both the videos, one built by the prompt by the Claude and one built by the Replit altogether by just giving no information at all. You can see it takes like almost like 1 to 2 minutes to publish any changes in the videos. You can let's check that it's going through the security scan, building the video, bundling everything together. And it's even promoting the video. Yeah, I can see that the video is out on the public, and let's see how this video is. Oh wow, AI isn't ending work, it's rewriting it. This is my first scene, and then there's a second scene. Routine tasks get automated, AI augmented roles and placeholders, judgment, creativity and oversight rise in the value. And then in the third scene it's giving some code. Oh, wow. And then it's telling that how the AI is making the code more optimized and making it more readable. And then it's also giving that directing agents, like how the work is moving of engineer to direct the agents altogether. Now their new roles like AI builder, AI orchestrator, AI safety and oversight, prompt engineer, how these AI is evolving the roles. And the edges, human plus AI working together. It's giving a good message in the end too. And I think this video is much better than the one AI Replit has generated on its own without giving any instructions and intelligence. So I would actually like anyone to work with the Claude first to get the required prompts, and then go to the Replit. And suppose you want to actually upload this video on your YouTube channel, you can go to the export and click render. It was going to give you an MP4 file, and you can download the video and upload on your YouTube channel too, which is what I'm going to do it right now.
That's pretty cool. So you say that someone can use Replit to generate video to teach people about AI faceless on YouTube by using Replit and using certain prompt.
Yes, and in fact, I actually tried using the clear defined prompt from the Claude, and one I just put in the Replit altogether to see that how much intelligence the Replit agents have. Like if I do not give it any direction or anything, can it sense the complex task like making a video on its own or not? And I think clearly I could see a winner in the one by the Claude rather than the Replit itself. That was my entire intention. And then we also have another job running in, so we're trying to extend the previous video built by the Replit to 2 minutes, and I think that is also about to get ready.
So about we want to combine them together, let's say that I want to use my face clone, like my avatar,
Yep, we can
and
do that.
then add it on the side of the presentation. So would you be able to combine them, the API together to kind of like make it to like sounds like I am doing the presentation, but obviously my avatar is doing, because I know a lot of people, they like, I don't feel like I want to be on screen. A lot of people want to be want things to sound like them, but wanna be let AI doing the work for them by using their own idea. Is it possible to kind of do something like that, and how you can combine them together?
Yeah, it is possible, because while this is generating, let me show you something I had actually previously built. So Replit works, we can actually go to the 11 labs, clone your sound and connect it with the Replit to build the video altogether. So I'll show you a video, one second, which I have actually built from kidney failure to
Wait, you don't write anything down after conversations?
This is Pocket. I never go anywhere without it.
So
I'll never forget the day I
this
was
4-minute video was actually generated by Replit, and I could have easily connected it to 11 labs to clone my voice. I provided it entire context and even couple of my own photos to create my
told.
own
My
story.
kidney and the neck I had to
You can easily see that
home.
quality of this video is
It
pretty
gave me-
good.
Nice.
So this is actually like a sample video I have taken built together, and if I want to actually have an avatar,
Because
so
my goal is to make some like uplifting videos, like for people who's going to some depression or going to some life issues. So I want to do it faceless, but I wonder if I can use the same system to kind of like generate video like this to kind of like help people overcome certain hardship in life.
yeah, let me add that. I want to add my voice to the video. Right now the audio is not working, so I cannot actually show to you right now, but
And-
in the boot camp we are going to cover that part as well. We can
Yeah.
also, I think that-
Weblit and using Weblit. Do you know a lot of people are making millions by just doing some few things, like those little cartoon things, and on YouTube paying them because people are watching ads. So guys, listen, there's a lot of ways you can make money with YouTube by not even showing your face. Just having something valuable that can serve someone. Think about an idea like that's going to change someone's life. First of all, think about how to help someone, and then build something like that in a YouTube channel where you do not need to be showing your face and making money. And do not think about the money first. Think about a solution for for people, and then you will make the money. But for sure, the money will come.
Yep, and you can see that now the video has rendered. I can clearly download it. I got the file, and let me just upload it on my YouTube.
Wow, this is amazing. Let's see.
Again, so you can see that.
So obviously you can Cloud Code can work directly with
It works like directly with the Replit.
oh my goodness, this is like something I never knew I'm gonna use, because I have my YouTube channel now. I'm live now. I haven't been making any content because I'm so busy with other things. So if I can do this, that will be life-changing for me.
Now you can see that I actually added the title, and for the descriptions, I'll go to the Replit and ask, I'm uploading this video on YouTube. Give me the description for the video.
Oh my gosh, that's good. So, what about the other platform you shared yesterday? Is not like
Yesterday I shared Gamma and Napkin.ai and
Nap-
Notebook LLM. Every platform has their own advantages and pros and cons, and you need to really evaluate your use case, in which case you need to use which platform.
like what's the difference between Notebook that AI? So can you give me a difference, because I feel like they can do the same thing, but
No,
there's a slight difference.
they are different. Notebook LLM is very good when you have to research around a lot of documents and a lot of YouTube videos all together. It can combine and read the multiple sources in no time and build the videos all together. But Gamma is actually more advanced in creating these slide presentations, and even Napkin.ai, they're pretty advanced than Replit in creating the presentations. Replit is still working on that part. You can easily see that it was asking me which style I want, who the presentation is for. But in Gamma, those things are already inbuilt because Gamma
Okay.
is specifically serving that purpose.
So what about like let's say which one of them are more better for those presentations that you
It,
can
it
post on YouTube?
it depends on your use case. Like in this particular use case, I was just trying to do a little bit testing, so I felt like Replit did a pretty good job.
Okay, so you can try both and find out which one
Yeah,
works for your audience the best.
exactly. Because you can use another AI as a judge, or a human as a judge, that and compare the videos, which is of a better quality.
Okay.
So you can see that
So
I actually also got the description of this video from the Replit agent because it can talk to me, and then I'm uploading it on the YouTube right now for everyone.
so which one you've been using the most?
I use everyone.
Because suddenly I'm going to start using them because they are pretty
Okay, now
cool.
that my video is actually in the 5 minutes, I have the video up on my YouTube channel. You can easily see that. And then let's go to the other task. I had asked the Replit to increase one of the videos from 2 minutes to 1 minute with backup audio. Then let me just mark it as a complete, and then it's giving me even the next task. Let me start those, and let me go to the publishing to see that what the Replit has. Go to the preview to see that. Okay, okay, generate. It did, since the audio credits are out, it did added this mute button, so that's a good thing. And I can see that it has done some more changes to make the video a 2 minute. And now this is looking much more impressive in that rather than the 1 minute video. Okay, and it's also asking me questions for the approval as well. If you look at the quality of this video, this is pretty good compared to a lot of other platforms I have seen and experimented. And I previously people used to think Replit is just for building mobile apps, but you can see that I'm building presentations using that thing. I'm building videos, and even can play around with improving the videos altogether for my YouTube channel as well, or even for my Instagram reels or TikTok reels. And I can see that e- I can simultaneously do multiple tasks in Replit because of the Agent 4 within the same workspace. Because my workspace here was the same one. I asked him to create a video as well as a presentation. Like suppose I'm actually giving like a 30 minutes webinar to a couple of engineers on the same topic. I can use the presentation and then show them this video too in the start. So
So right now I have a question. So, okay, can you try to play it on YouTube? Is it already posted? Or because I
yeah, it's
feel like
already posted. So let's go and play the video out on the YouTube. I've actually put it on the premiere.
okay.
So you can easily see that. Let me give you the link so that even everyone can watch the video. And again, thank you everyone for staying with us and just for your support so that we can keep working along with the AI.
Okay.
And you can see the video is out up here, and even the other video I had created to extend it to 2 minutes. So it's also pretty much done, and I can even export this one and even put this one also out on the YouTube.
Okay. Trust me, I'm going to start doing it using Webly today. Because I love it. I love the concept. I've been thinking about how to use those kind of like do some faceless video in like education for education. But now I feel like I'm pretty much confident that I can use Weblit or not that book. So
Yeah, you can use any of the tools. So, oh yeah, I actually covered till now how to make the animation video, how to create a presentation from the Replit. Now, let's move to something more interesting. Now, let's build a application or a website and even or a design. So, I have already some prompt here with me that I had initially created. So I'm going to use Replit to go from a single sentence to a working application that you can actually share with everyone, and use the same agent to even create a pitch deck and even create like a promo video. So I'm going to build a travel app uh, called as Wanderlist, where everyone can add their destination as card and mark them as visit and watch the progress. So firstly, I actually go to it's giving me some prompts like I actually got all these prompts and different from the Claude before the session today, so that I'm more prepared. So I just paste this prompt, and whoever has signed up for the VIP one are going to get these prompts so that they can also build along with us. So it's building this. The first prompt is actually building this web application known as Wanderlist, where user can add a destination with name, country, and a short note why they want to go, and an optional URL about the place, and even show the destination as an attractive card in a response grid. And each card has a if the place people have visited or not, and even it shows the progress on how many total destinations people have visited, and also give some context that use a clean, modern, colorful design with a friendly travel vibe. And I also mentioned to store the data so that whenever I visit again and again, I can see that. And then agent will plan the app, it will write the code and set up the storage and run it on the right. And if I go to the next part, and in the next part I'm actually going to refine the application and even deploy it. And then there's also another thing that I can create, like if I want to create a marketing work for this one, I can use this app this prompt to build a marketing landing page, so that people can first sign up on this page, and then I can send them the link if they are interested in testing this application. So I'll just go to the agent 4, and while my web page is being constructed, I'll just simply paste the prompt up here, so that while my main application is getting built, I can easily build a marketing landing page too. And then I also want a marketing video for this application, so I have some prompt here that for the marketing video, Replit builds the app and the page for the promo clip, screen record 20 to 30 seconds of your live app from browser OS or a tool like Loom, and script 3 beats. The problem, adding destination and ticketing of the short clip is your marketing video. So let me ask the Replit to even build a marketing video for this particular app. So I can simply go here, the Replit, and create a new task. I also want to create like a marketing video for Wanderlist app. So I have 3 tasks running simultaneously: the main web page and the marketing landing page, as well as a promo video. And let me also add another task, like if I want to go to some VC to say that, okay, I have this application in mind and I want to pitch it to you guys to raise some money, because I think this has like a very high potential. So I can just ask the Replit itself to create a pitch deck for VCs for Wanderlist app. And I can also mention that make this pretty impressive and have 6 slides with necessary numbers and how much to ask, as well as impact, revenue, ARR, TAM values. So I'm building here like quite a lot of things together, and within because I'm like, okay, over the weekend I build an app, I build its pitch deck, I have its marketing landing page, I have its video all out. I'm just becoming let me become an entrepreneur over the weekend by building a simple application on Replit, because even I didn't, that's how even I became an entrepreneur using Replit, because over the weekend I built an app. So you can see, oh, you can see that while we were talking, we already have like there are
Wow. What kind of app
Wanderlust.
is this? It's like I see Santorini. It's a vacation travel app.
Yes, it's a travel
That's
app,
so
so
nice. I love it.
you can easily see that. And in fact, let me ask, there were some other prompts to improve this one. Through it was telling in the step one to paste this prompt. I already did that, and then let me add the second one as well, the second prompt, to make it more impressive, and then I can publish this application. So you can, it added a dummy data that I've already been to the Banff National Park, and I have been dreaming of Kyoto and Santorini. So I mean, Murray and I love traveling, so we can actually use this application for our own purposes, and can just show off. Okay, we have already visited these places, but we want to go to these places. It's more like we are just manifesting or building the travel vision board using Wanderlist. Isn't this pretty
Wow,
cool?
this is amazing. So where do you go to generate this again? You go on, can you tell the people how you generate this, or how you navigate Webly? Because I believe a lot of people, they are new to Webly. They would love to
So I
I
simply
mean, since we do not have a lot of people live on this, I do have a few on YouTube, but here we do not have a lot of people live. Is that okay if I unmute, give access to Natalie? She's my friend. She's my best friend. So in case she has any questions.
yeah, please feel free to ask me any question, because I can open the Replit, click on the what you want to build website, and then simply enter the prompt for the web app. That's how I went ahead in the first place to build the build the Wanderlust, because I first go to the Replit homepage, and what you want to build. I want to build a website. I clicked on that, put up the prompt for the Wanderlust altogether, and after that, these are like sub agents where I started giving the new task to create like a marketing landing page, and even creating a pitch video or a marketing video. And then there is a pitch deck for VCs as well. Okay, I have like my marketing page also. Like if I want to, because usually a lot of entrepreneurs and do these things, like they create a marketing page, ask the people to sign up on the marketing page, and then send them a specific link with some kind of a coupon code so that they can try it free for a couple of days.
Nice.
So you can easily see that we are actually trying to do quite a lot of things together. And I can also ask the plate, like I want to a little bit improve Wanderlust a little bit. If you have any suggestions, can I do same? And in fact, if you think this is good enough, you can go to any of these travel companies like Expedia or something and try to show them the Wanderlust and sell this application out to them. Now I wanted to improve this one, so it's giving me certain suggestions like how would I what should it do first? Like I can mention image upload and even map, priority ranking. I basically want to actually add everything so that it is more impactful. And I see that okay, it's already working on some other task I have given for the pitch deck too. I'm just trying to do multiple tasks at the same time because I don't have like my team with me to work on the pitch deck. So Replit is like my AI teammate. I have like my UI UX designer with me. I have some marketing person. I have my finance person up with me to build my entire stuff. And like maybe on the Monday, you can find me on the LinkedIn trying to approach VCs. Oh, I have built this interesting application vendor list. Would you like to invest in this application? And I think this is very high return and it's something pretty unique. And the time to build this application is like we just built this application while I have been talking to everyone around. And in fact, another cool thing about the Replit is that I can connect it to different integrations and external services as well. Like if there's a full integration library up here. If I go to the integrations, I can connect it to my GitHub. I can connect it to AWS. I can connect to Datadog or Airtable, Box, Discord, even my own Calendly, and even my Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Sheets, Hubs. I can connect it to my HubSpot. Maybe like you can think of, you can connect, make a CRM database or a marketing kind of presentation by connecting it to your own HubSpot. You can connect it to your Jira and start building some applications for your project management team at work. I see that it's connected even to Slack, SquareUp, Twitch. There's so many integration Replit has. Like even Adobe that I've not even tested a lot of these integrations myself. Okay, so this is something interesting. Like it can connect to the Amazon. So manage seller vendor operation via Amazon selling partner API. So if you're a seller on Amazon, you can use the Replit to start creating specific applications for yourself.
Can you check if you can connect it to it's just can you merge it with Lovable or no? It's now integrated.
Let's see.
Or a website. If you have your own website and Lovable, you wanna transfer to this, so is that possible? No.
No, that's not possible currently. You can actually link it to the GitHub and connect it to the GitHub. I will actually rather do it the harder way, get all the code from the GitHub and then connect it with the Replit.
Okay.
But yeah, I can see it connected to the DocuSign as well and on Dropbox too, and even Eventbrite. So maybe next time when we are having a bootcamp, we can probably create an application by connecting it to the Eventbrite and manage the event using Replit. Maybe build some application using Eventbrite and Replit all together. Like we can have like an in-person beta with everyone interested in our bootcamp and our AI summit.
That's cool.
And in fact, the 455 integrations and
That's
even
a lot.
there's like a workspace collaborator. So you can see that I have added a couple of my friends as a collaborators for different projects. So you can work with your teammates so that while you are sleeping, your teammate can test your application, make the required changes. So that's pretty interesting. And I can see the workspace usage, like some of the metrics associated with the workspace. I can check on my billing plan as well as I can see that how much what applications I have published till date, what is the total usage, and what's how much I'm incurring. Something to look out for your finance department. And there's like authentication I can also check, and there's also identity and governance being enabled and audit logs too, and privacy too. And if you want to actually refer anyone, so you can just share your link, and as soon as they sign up and upgrade, even you get some credits for them signing up. So if you want to actually earn more credits, you can just refer a lot of your friends into Replit as well.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and okay, you can see that my pitch deck is also ready. So Replit, turn someday into itinerary.
You have like a line, red line. Is it I don't know how to create it.
Okay. Yeah, we can actually ask it to check it later, but it's even giving me the numbers, like the 73% keep their bucket list across 3 or more disconnected places, and then 1 in 4 ever dreams making into real calendar, and $0 is spent today on tool to build the wish list into journeys, and $1 trillion vendor list. So it is giving me TAM number, it is giving me total SAM, it's giving me SOM, and it's even giving me like what the business model, like make it free initially, and then for the premium one charge $6 per month, and it give me like a ARR as well, like with some projections like 120K active users, 18% month over month growth, and their 6% I convert from free to paid. It's giving me all the necessary numbers, and even it's asking me how much we are asking for. We're asking for 300 million, and even giving me how my funds are going to be used. It's going to be used in product and engineering, it's going to be used in growth and marketing, and 20% team hiring, and in operations. And it can easily reach like a 1 million travel reach. And that's pretty cool. I think Mary, we should actually go on a Monday and start giving a call to the VCs that, okay, we have built this interesting application. This is the marketing plan, and this is the pitch deck we have. And would you be interested in investing? And we already have a marketing video up here. Isn't this cool? Isn't this pretty cool?
That's pretty cool. Oh my goodness, that's very cool.
You can see that we have just become an entrepreneur, and in fact let me add something more. Like, I want to understand the product market fit, so I can just ask the Replit that I want to build a product market fit engine for research agent for vendor list, and also include competitors and current competitors and what advantage vendor list is giving. So let's even does like a product market fit of this interesting application vendor list. You can see that the landing page is also up. Oh wow, it's so cool. Let me go to, I would actually like to go to the landing page so I can ask them, how do I publish, do I actually preview landing page? Let's ask the Replit. There's a separate, okay, right now there's not a separate landing page, but when it had built the marketing landing page, the Wanderlist homepage was just a placeholder. But in the meantime, the main app was developed into fully functional Wanderlist app. The destination tracker with ad destination, journey statistics, and all to visit filters. During the rebase, the two collided on the same homepage, and I kept the working app rather than override the static marketing page. Okay, so we did not know that there was something going on. And if I visit the current home page, that is the right now. But if I really want the marketing landing page, so I can add it to the home page or put it on the separate route. Okay, let me put it on the separate route altogether, because I don't want everyone to get access to this application, because I'm trying to protect my proprietary rights. So I can just keep it like, okay, give it like a separate one. And then let's see how the other task is coming up. I've also wanted to do a product I've been working on so many tasks at the same time, like a pitch deck, and then there's the marketing video, and then there's the product marketing fit engine. And even for the product marketing fit engine, I have a question: how do I want it? So I can just tell that I want an interactive app tool, a research agent that can generate analysis, comparator comparison, and vendor list advantage. Or I can choose a one-time research document or a slide. Let me just choose a app or tool to see how it works. And meanwhile, since we have built the vendor list, so we should actually start posting. Mary, we are actively looking to hire people for building the vendor list to the next level. If anybody is looking out for a job, please reach out to us. And it would be great if you could also do some VC introductions.
That would be good.
Yeah, let's launch a new business. And isn't this pretty cool application? We already see we have everything ready to go. We have marketing videos and we have a pitch deck. We have like a product market fit as well as everything up. We're just ready to go. I mean, I'm definitely going to use Wanderlist, and I know Marie is also pretty excited to use the Wanderlist because she also travels a lot.
I do, I do. So that's gonna be your app, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what's. Let's see the marketing. So let's see for the product marketing fit engine. It has already created a plan. Let me start building it.
That's pretty cool. You're just building your own app in front of us, which is so cool. I love it. So I love the cleanness of the app. It's so nice.
And I think this is pretty interesting. Like, I did not need to hire anybody else. I can actually do quite a lot of things with Replit too, and I could easily. And I mean, it might be a little harder for anyone to understand, but see how the Replit works. Its key advantage is that you can do multiple tasks at the same time. So it's a pretty good tool if you are like me, who is like, okay, I want all the tasks to run simultaneously. I would say that go with the Replit, and better get your all the prompts that you want to build from Claude rather than pasting anything randomly on the Replit, because I can easily compare the results. They were more planned out.
Mm-hmm.
And Mary, meanwhile, can you tell a little bit about the bootcamp and how the bootcamp is going to be useful for anybody looking to build with the Replit or Lovable or Base44?
Actually, what we're going to do in the boot camp, we're going to help people build their own app. So we going to teach them. We will do one session where we're teaching them. The next time we're going to see them, we're going to ask them what app idea that you have. What do you want to create? What do you want to build? Actually, we're going to build it for them. So I will have what we will have. We'll have everybody expertise will kind of like write down what they can do for our client, whoever want to be part of the boot camp. And so they know in advance, they will receive an email in advance with everything that we'll be teaching in the boot camp. So it's gonna be 30 days, and it can be 2 or 3 days a week. We will plan on which time we are available, so you can come to the session and we can be hands-on. So until you build your system, we will sit down with you and help you build your own system. You will have live access to us. You can ask questions while we're building your system. So you can and you can also ask for help as well. So we will be all hands on with you, and you will not feel alone at all. We're just gonna be, it's gonna be more like here we're just kind of like telling you what we were able to build, how we build it, but it's gonna be different because you will be able to build your own app and know how to build your own app. And if you want to build your own business or start something new, you will be able to do it, and we will teach you how to do it step by step. And I'm pretty much excited because I do have a lot of people who are already interested. They're just asking me when it's gonna start, but we're still trying to see if we can start at the beginning of July. But if we need to have more people, we might start on the 17th. But we will let you know when we will start with the bootcamp. What about you, Gypsy? Do you have anything to add about the bootcamp?
Oh, yes. Can you at least let them know what advantage they are getting right now to enroll in the boot camp? The pricing part, can you?
Oh, yes, that's the most exciting part. The most exciting part is that it's the boot camp, the value of the boot camp. Let me see if I can Dipsy, is there anywhere you can click on the link in the chat? So, or do you want me to share my screen? I can share my screen too.
Yeah, can you share your screen meanwhile?
Real quick, okay. Um, Okay, hopefully everyone can see my screen. So this is what we get. For 30 days, we will have live AI training. We have coaching and implementation. So you will work directly with myself, which is Mary, you, Jean, Brian, Dipti, to build AI system that grow your business in just 30 seconds. Imagine yourself paying someone to build a website for you. And you just like you wrote a plan for the person and then you keep getting back. That happened to me where I delegate like a job and I keep checking back. They're not doing the job. It's just because they're so busy with other client, right? And you want your job to be done as soon as possible. But with getting those training, you will be able to be in control. Me, I like to be in control of my time, be in control of my project. Delegating with someone, it just get me anxious, very anxious, because I'm like, I want to get it done and try to text my technician, whoever I hired to do the project, and they not deliver on time, kind of get me very, very agitated. But now you will be with AI. Now we have a good advantage where we are able to build our own system. We don't need to hire someone to code for us. And the value of a boot camp is that we, as I mentioned before, we'll have live training and group coaching. The value, it's $5,000, guys. $5,000. A lot of people, I've seen people charging up to $5,000 just for trainings and coaching, guys. So, and you will have AI agent and automation system for value of $3,500. Prompt engineering mastery, value of $2,500. Marketing automation system, value of $5,000. Weekly Q&A coaching session, value of $1,500. Certification and completion, value of $1,000. Bonus, we have a few bonuses. AI business template, value of $997. Bonus, we have another bonus AI summit recording where we will have all your recording from summit and also the bootcamp for $497. And the last bonus is the private community access, which is $997. The community is the school community, and I sent an email out with all the link. I have a Facebook community and a school community for us to share idea, to stay connected, where we will share different tools, anything that's new. You will be connected with us. You can ask any question you want. And the value total is $20,991. That's a real deal breaker. So you will not find this anywhere where you have 4 experts live for 30 days, guys. This is a deal breaker. So it was only $499.97. But during the summit, we bring the value down to $399.97. So if we just added the code, which is Summit 100. So listen, if you don't take this now, it's just available for 10 to 15 people. It is limited. So the price will go back to $499 after 10 or 15 days. So you better grab your seat right now, or you will have to pay the $499.
And can you also mention that they're going to actually get one-on-one time with us, which is not happening right now?
Yes, they will have one-on-one. So if anyone have a question, they can ask it quickly, because we can add 3 more minutes because we have Brian soon. So if you have a question, just raise your hand so we can unmute you. But if you do not have any question, it's fine. We can move on to the next host.
Yeah.
I believe there's no questions. So if there's no more questions, I can just have Brian join. So Brian, you are co-host. You can unmute yourself.
Hello, hello. Yes, it's great talking to everyone. Great presentation. But yeah, I'm really excited to get started. Let me share my screen.
Can you tell us a little bit about, oh, you have it in your presentation.
Oh yeah, no, I have the whole presentation on my side. Let me see if pardon me if the camera's a little blurry. But let me know you can see my screen, right?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, and just let me know if you guys are having any issues on your side. Yeah, I just want to go over well, first of all, I appreciate you guys sticking until the end. I'm really excited to just share with you what I've been able to do and just my experience with agentic coding. And I'll be going over like a lot of material. But don't stress because during the boot camp, I'll be going over this in step by step. So let's get started right away. So just a very, very quick intro of who I am. I'm a mechanical engineer by trade, but I'm a builder at heart. I'm the senior mechanical engineer at Temper Technology. I started building about a year ago with N8N. I loved it. For those that don't know, N8N, it's pretty much you build your own workflow and you have different softwares and apps integrated with each other so you can run your different automations that you need for your business. But I will share with you more about like what I've been able to do. A big emphasis that I want to, keep on stressing is now with AI, you don't necessarily need a computer science degree to get started. I don't want you to feel intimidated by AI because there's a lot that you can do without knowing how to code or without a computer science degree. So just very, very quick intro. Yeah, this is my company. We've built like self-heating coffee cans, a bowl that you see right here. You turn the knob, the food heats up in about 5 minutes. And pretty much one of my friends told me about this platform called N8N. And I fell in love just by, watching different YouTube tutorials. And this screenshot that you see right here, this is actually a N8N workflow that I built for one of my friends. And it's essentially just a newsletter. So like these different boxes right here, they conduct research about different topics, and then I have this AI agent summarize everything, and then it does a deeper dive into the different topics, and eventually I get this newsletter that ends up getting sent out. But what made AI a lot of fun for me was I was able to just build whatever I wanted to. It was like you could wave a wand and you can start building, but you just have to you got to go through a certain process. And that's one of the most important things that I learned. So through my experience, I started out building for one of my friends, one of my close friends. He has his own podcast called Next Stop Africa. And I started out building like a newsletter, which is what you saw. You saw that back in workflow in that previous slide. And this was the newsletter. It does research on different topics. And then eventually I built for my friend a website, a back-end website where he can have like a debugging mode. He can click on whichever country he wants to do like a newsletter for. And then, he's able to do a whole review over that newsletter. He's able to give feedback to that newsletter. And, I even went to the extent of like building an Instagram carousel generator. And all of this was just through repetition, through me continually learning on YouTube, through me being part of communities, through me experimenting, trying stuff out. And it was just a lot of fun to like build something on my own that I've never been able to do before. And, going back to Tempra, I even got as ambitious as, building tools for Tempra. So, for instance, Tempra, my company, I cannot share with you the details of what we do in our lab, but, there's a 200 plus line of like, it's a 200 plus to-do list line on a Gantt chart that summarizes everything that we have to do internally. And in this Gantt chart, it talks about like all the stuff that we have to do in order for us to launch out our self-heating food bowl to get that manufactured. We have to talk to different manufacturers. We have to do different quality checks. We have to set up our assembly line. So it's a very overwhelming process. And, to summarize everything, I actually was able to create a workflow where I was able to create a 5-minute podcast that explains the whole process and everything that we have to do to my boss. So that was a fun project that I made on my own. I've even built my own, thanks to Claude Code, I've built my own graphing tools where previously, if I ever ran a test, it would take me about 3 hours to create this graph that you see on the right-hand side. With Claude Code, I was able to create my own computer app, and pretty much what I do is on the left-hand side right here, these are the different sessions that I had, and I would just upload like an Excel file. I would give this platform like the different inputs that I want for my graph, and then I would be able to plot it. So like one thing I'll keep on stressing is, again, you do not need a computer science degree to get started with AI. You do not. For myself, I've built a Claude Code podcast series even where I use documentation from Anthropic's website, and I had AI agents create like a podcast series where it discusses the fundamentals of Claude Code. Because all the documentation, it's on Anthropic's website for the fundamental stuff that they do. Even for my friend's podcast, his podcast was Next Stop Africa, which you just saw. I was able to I just got started by building a newsletter generator. And then, I built in a front end website. And then I created a custom Instagram creator. And even with Tempra, I built my own 5-minute podcast, as well as a graph generator app. And, my personal advice, if there's anything that you take away from this, it's important for you to understand yourself, understand your goals, where are you trying to be in your career? Where are you trying to be with your job? Or do you want to, be more entrepreneurial? What is it that you want? And, the other thing that I want to stress is that it's important to understand the current landscape and where we're moving with AI, as well as understanding how to build with what you're using. There's a reckless way to build, and then there's a way to build with a system. And when you build with a system, it's like you can deal with issues a lot easier without having to stress out, without having to, have any blowups or having to spend, a lot of money on spending tokens. And then the last thing is, we're all on a journey, but it's critical to just keep learning every day. There's a lot of knowledge out there, but every day you got to keep learning and keep trying stuff out, keep building. So, right now I just want to go over the current AI landscape, which you guys are starting to get a feel like if you been paying attention for the whole series, or if you've been going to all the courses, like you'll start to get a feel of what the current AI landscape looks like. But I'm just going to go over it real quickly. So I try to map it out the best that I can. We have chat and assistants. So a lot of you guys are going to be most familiar with this. It's ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, Perplexity. That's a very fun app where It uses scholarly articles to, find information and provide answers for you for whatever questions you have. But a lot of people understand like the chat assistants. It's a very common tool that, I imagine if you're in this webinar, you probably are already using ChatGPT every day. Secondly, there's the image generation side of AI. So you got DALL-E, you got Adobe Firefly, you have Nano Banana, and there's some great tools out there with that. And then for media generation, you can now create your own music. You can use 11 Labs to clone your voice, to like duplicate your voice, or to clone someone else's voice, or create a personal voice for, it could be a marketing video, or it could be your own podcast, or whatever you imagine using, in a voice for. And then secondly, or fourthly, I should say, we have code builders, which includes Lovable, Cloud Code, Codex, Agentic AI. And Agentic AI is it's the process of having AI perform multiple steps for you and performing workflows for you. So it started out with using like NAN used to be like the top model or the top platform used in agentic AI, but then computer use assistants came up, and then autonomous track agents or task agents came out, and then open source self-hosted models such as OpenClaw and Hermes came out as well, where they run 24/7, and you give it a North Star for what it should be working on, and how often it should be working, whether it's 24/7 or just like 8 hours a day. And one thing that all of these have in common is that they have these foundational models, and that's the engine that they all operate under. So with everything that I shared, there's a lot of different apps out there, a whole lot, and one thing that a lot of questions that people have is like, where do I even begin? Where do I get started? Because it's like every week there's a new platform out there. Every week there's something, a new trending platform, and there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise. There's also still a lot of great tools out there, but there's a right and wrong time. There's a right and wrong time to use the different platforms out there. So, whoops, hold on. Let me go back. I had a little issue with my slides. I accidentally pressed a button, and then it just went to the very end of the slide. But yeah, so there's a build to buy spectrum. And out there right now with all of the different apps out there, you can either buy existing tools out there, either through a subscription or a one-time payment, or you can build with AI. So very often I use Claude Code to build, or a Codex to build. And the great part about buying existing tools like Gamma is that they're fast to adopt, they're friendly for beginners, they're very easy to use, and there's not a lot of technical overhead. But there's also the build it yourself route that you can take, where you'll have more customization. If you're building this product for your business, like maybe for a business that you're trying to start, or for a company that you're working for, if you build this product, you can, depending on what you build, you can stand out from competing products more if you are building this rather than buying what's currently out there, if that makes sense. And within this build to buy spectrum, the more convenient the tool is, the less control you have in reverse. So there's going to be a time and place when you'll want to buy existing tools. If you need immediate results, then you'll probably want to buy an existing tool that's out there right now. For instance, with this presentation, I used Cloud Code extensions, and I have the subscription model. So I just was able to use Claude extensions to help me build this presentation. If good enough results exist, then there's no need to build something new when you can just buy it right now. And then if tech companies are likely to commoditize it soon, you probably don't need to build the item soon. And a great example is these AI note takers. About a year or maybe 2 years ago, we were getting a lot of different AI note-taking apps. Otter, I still use Otter, actually. It's a great app. But eventually, companies like Zoom and Google, they started to get their own AI note-taking apps, and they commoditized that. Another thing that I think will happen pretty soon is, I think you'll start to see AI-generated podcasts. So you might not want to necessarily create your own platform to create AI podcasts, maybe instead create your own niche within that podcast space. But most likely, pretty soon you'll probably see Google having their own podcast generator that you can use and that you can buy to build whatever podcast, rather than you building the engine for that. And then there's going to be times when, it'll make sense to build your own tool. And that includes when, if you're building a business, or if you have an idea where the technology is going to be centered around the AI, if that's going to be the case, then you're going to want to build. You're going to want to build. You want to understand the engine. You want to have control over what models are really running the model or running the tool, whether it's Claude Code's Opus, or you're using the Haiku model within Claude. If the product that you're building is intended to be the centerpiece of your business, then it would make a lot of sense for you to build. Also, if you need full control, if you want to be able to also, if there's nothing else on the shelf that exists, then that's a clear example of when you want to build as well. And then if the current items that are out there right now fall short, or very often with some of these frontier models too, you'll see it happening where you're starting to see certain AI tools where the price is rising surprisingly. So there's going to be times when you'll want to build just to save money, so you don't have to rely on a certain subscription. Or for instance, Lovable, it's a great tool, but sometimes Lovable, depending on how much you're trying to do, using Lovable can get expensive if you're using a lot of data, or a lot of tokens is the more technical term. So this is just another summary of that build to buy spectrum. One thing I want to stress is this build to buy spectrum, it's not necessarily like a ladder to climb, it's more of like a menu for you to choose from. There's going to be times when you'll want to buy certain products out there if you want something that's fast to implement. For instance, the Otter AI note-taking app is quick to implement, and I use that with Tempra for my company. If you need something that's going to be friendly for beginners, people that might not be that technical, then it'll be useful to buy something rather than to build your own AI operated or AI powered tool. But unfortunately, with these tools that you can buy, there will be a limit to how much you can customize. There will be a little bit of limit. It's going to be, if this AI tool that you're buying is going to be the centerpiece for your business, it's going to be harder for you to stand out because there's going to be other entrepreneurs using that same tool. So that's when, it's going to be good to build yourself. And, for the rest of this presentation, I will start to talk more about building and how to build, because the great part about building these tools is you got more customization, you stand out. You can start to use free models if you want. And you can choose which models you want to use, whether it be Haiku, Llama, or there's a lot of Kimi is another open source model that you can potentially use, and it's a lot cheaper than Claude Code's Opus, and it's just a matter of the application that you need to use this model for. So yeah, and then this is just going into more detail about the Build to Vibe, giving you, examples of, AI inside your apps. You got the Copilot, Notion AI, HubSpot, Claude extensions. I love Claude extensions. That saved my life. As far as visual builders, you saw N8N, Zapier's another one, Make.com, managed platforms. And then here you start to get into the building side of the spectrum, Claude Agent SDK, Pydantic, OpenAI SDK. And then you also have, code it yourself tools as well. So one thing I'm going to stress, this Build to Buy spectrum it's a menu, not a ladder. And, don't be ashamed if you're buying a lot of stuff, because there's a lot of great tools. But if you are an entrepreneur and you want, if your business is going to be centered around AI, that's when you got to build. But you don't always need to build. So yeah, the rest of this presentation is just going to be focused on how do you build with agentic AI. And right now, the AI world is, for people that are coding with AI, there's like two worlds right now. There's people that will chat to an agent and, just hope that things will work out, and they're just winging it. And thankfully, these models are very, very powerful, and they're very effective, where over time, if you are just winging it, like eventually you will get the answers that you want, or the results that you want. But, the problem is it's very fragile to ship. And I've actually been in this world myself. When you don't have a system, there's complete chaos. You get about 7,000 plus files in your folder, and you get a lot of bloated folders, and it's not a fun process to go through. But the other world out there for building with AI is the agentic engineers. And these are the people that have a system, they have a repeatable process, and it's easier to build. And what you have to do is you got to plan first, then build and verify. That's like the general process for agentic engineering. And the challenge with people that just wing it is very often, and I've dealt with this myself. I've had this experience where you'll have a very awkward user interface, and there's no documentation of where certain skills are or where certain files are. And when you have to, when you go from building this product that you just winged and you try to give it to a client, what happens is it's very difficult to ship it or send it to your the client that you're building for, because you don't even know what's happening because you're just winging it. Again, having a system, though, there's full documentation. It's easier to plan for the ideal user interface that you want. And you can fully test under the different extreme cases for how your tool might be operated under when you build with a system. So for agentic engineering, we will just go over, I will not show you any code for this. I'm just going to go over the general process, just the general flow. So you may or may not, when you're, by the way, greenfield workflow, or greenfield development is when you're building from scratch. And then there's going to be a process called brownfield development, where you're building additions and new features to an existing product. So for greenfield development, sometimes you might have a template to start with, and you can very often find these with GitHub repos, but just make sure that if you're using a template to get started, just make sure that, it's common sense, but make sure that, the person that posted the GitHub repo is someone that's trustworthy and, someone with a good reputation. But this is where you really, everyone will be starting at, is the create your PRD. A PRD is a product requirement document. It's essentially a document which is like your North Star for what you want to build. And with a PRD, you don't want to worry about how you're going to build whatever you're trying to do. I've made that mistake. You want to focus on what you're going to build and why. Those are like the two most important things. And you need that to be in a document that your agents can refer to as you're building new features into your platform that you're building. So after you create your PRD, then you got your global rules. Think of your global rules as like the day one, like imagine having a new employee go to your job and you have to train your employee, and imagine all of the things, the general rules of thumb that you would give a first day, a day one employee, the rules and advice that you would give them, that's similar to what the global rules would share. So the global rules, they share just the principles of how the AI agents should be coding, how they should be operating. The global rules also tell the agents where everything is located. If something needs to be done, then they have to go to this location. So that's what the global rules is. You don't want to talk about any specific processes. It's more of just principle focused, and it just tells the agents like the lay of the land, where everything is located if they need to find more information. And then fourthly, there is on-demand context, which you will add to your agents, but depending on the project, this is just more information that you will provide your agents, in case if they build the front end of your platform, or if they're working on the back end platform, or if they're trying to build a tool, there might be more or additional context that you might want to share with that agents, which you'll want to store and build and set up for your greenfield development. And then commands are reusable prompts. So if you've ever written a prompt before, you will probably have experienced the feeling of, man, I wish I could save and copy and paste, the prompt that I wrote for this one task and use it for a future task. Well, that's what a command is. A command is, for instance, if I'm about to plan with my agent, I will, I have a specific prompt that I use. And, whenever I type in my command, that prompt gets loaded, and then the agent reads the entire prompt, and then it'll start to ask me questions. And then once you go through this quick process, you got all this set up, then you go through what's called a piv loop. And, this is like the most repeatable process, or it's a very, very repeatable process where you spend most of your time planning. You put everything in a structured plan, in a structured document, and then you have your agents do the grunt work for you. The agents will build the code, and then you need your agents to verify and validate what they built, so everything's not a mess. Now, for brownfield workflow or brownfield development, this is when you're adding, a new feature to an existing code base. So this is going to be very similar. It's going to be very similar. You start out with having your agent just understand the lay of the land. When you start a new session, these agents, they don't know what's going on. So they need to understand the code base that you currently have. And then afterwards, you will want to extract certain rules that apply to the application that you need this agent to work or build for. And then again, you'll use certain commands for the brownfield development. So again, a command is just it's a reused prompt. It's a reused prompt that you pretty much copy and paste to your agent, so it saves you time. I've had the struggle where I would spend an hour writing a prompt, and that's like it's good practice, it's a good exercise, but if you're building for a client, you don't want to spend an hour writing a prompt. You'd rather spend an hour planning something out or maybe testing out the application, but not writing a prompt. So that's why you do want to have commands. And then, you'll also want to document your code base, but these general workflows, whether you're starting from scratch or you're adding a new feature, no matter what, you're going to go through this piv loop afterwards, where you will then begin to plan and create a structured plan, let your agents implement for you, and then you, with your agents, will validate and verify what was built. So for the planning, just to reiterate, this is the whole loop that you continually do. One thing that you want to keep in mind when you go through this process of plan, implementing, and validate, try not to do too much at once, because your agents will get overwhelmed. I've had it happen to me where I get a little bit too ambitious with these piv loops, and I want my agents to do X, Y, Z and element OP, and it's too much. So you got to keep an eye on, usually focus on one feature or one task, focus on that, build a plan for your agents to, either fix or build a new feature, and then have your agents implement and then validate that work. So going into more detail about the planning, the way that I like to plan, I start out with a process called GCAO, GCAO, goals, or GCAO. So I'll first, within a sentence, I'll explain what my goal is. And, this is also great for if you ever need to do a prompt for even just like ChatGPT, you can also use this template. But yeah, I'll start out with writing my goal just so I can think things through within one sentence. What is the thing that I'm trying to build? After that, I give the agent within the same prompt, or when I'm planning, I'll write out the context of, what I'm trying to build. Who's my audience? What's the input? What's the source material? Why am I building, what I'm trying to build? And why am I building the feature? What background information should this agent know? What constraints is the agent dealing with? And then after that, I'll write like what actions I want the product or the new feature to be able to do. Be careful with this though, because very often you don't want to tell your agents how to build or how to construct something, because there might be a better process that you're not aware of. And if you're not if you don't have a if you're not if software engineering is new to you, you might not know of the best process per se. But generally, when you're first starting out, you never want to tell your agents how to work. You're better off telling them what you want to build and why. And then lastly, in the same, when I'm planning, just to get started, I'll even write out, what output do I want that feature to provide? What is it that I want to see? What's the format that I'm looking for? If it's a PDF that I want my platform to create, how does that PDF look like? Or if I'm trying to create an Instagram post, how do I want that Instagram post to look like? How many slides do I want? So, it's good to also, when you're beginning with planning, you want to give examples of what's good, what's bad, what type of structure do you want? How do you want the end result what do you want the end result to be? And then, once I finish writing all of that out for planning, I then use this really helpful tool. It's a skill actually. It's the Grill Me skill by Matt Pocock. This is actually a skill that went viral, and pretty much you have an AI agent. It'll review all of the input that you provide it, and then it'll review all of the input, and then it'll interview you with any other questions that it might have about the input that you gave it, so you can create a structured plan. So if you want, this is like the actual GitHub repo. Now, Matt Pocock, he's created multiple iterations of this Grill Me skill. This is the Grill Me skill that I use, and pretty much in the text file, this is, verbatim what the skill says. Interview me relentlessly about every aspect of this plan. Ask the questions one at a time. If a question can be answered by exploring the code base or what I've shared, explore the code base instead. So this is what I personally use, but I know Matt Pocock, if you explore his GitHub repo, he will have more like other versions of this Grill Me skill, but it's pretty much you have your agent interview you, so it fully understands, what it needs to do. And then after this, you have your agent that you're planning with, you have it build a structured plan, which is just, you can have it create like a handoff report, or I just call it a handoff report, but it's pretty much a text file written in a certain format, which is called Markdown format very often. And future agents will refer to this document when they're building. So that brings us to the next step, which is the implement. And with the implementation step, you don't really have to do a whole lot. This is like, if you did a good job planning, then this is where the agents, go ahead and, they start working. They start building the code that you need. But then, one thing that you do want to, if possible, you want to keep in mind is if you're able to have the agents work within your context window, within a 20% context window, then that's great. If not, it's all right. But generally, a trend that's been discovered when agents are building is that once they use a certain amount of data, which is called tokens, once they use a certain amount of tokens, they eventually start to forget, what data is is correct and what data is incorrect. And it's like finding a needle in a haystack, when you're dealing with a lot of data or tokens. Once these agents use about 500,000 tokens, which is about 200,000 words, that's like the equivalent, the agents start to create more errors. So, as your agents are implementing, if possible, if you're able to, I would recommend, having your agents work within a 20% context window, which is 200,000 tokens usually. Over time, though, these models will get better and better. Their memory will get better and better, and they'll be able to handle more data in one session. But, if your agents go past their context window, don't stress out. What these agents do is they do something called an auto compaction, where they delete a lot of the data that they've been using, but they compress it into a shorter format so they can continue working without running out of memory for their current session. Very often, if I have to use a lot of context, then I might even create a handoff report, or I'll do an auto compaction. And that way, I can still keep the context of what the agent is working on during the implement phase. And then lastly, in this piv loop, we have to validate. So for the validation step, this is like the general pyramid. And linting, that's like just checking for general errors within the coding. By the way, your agents are supposed to take care of steps 1 through 4. You just have to know what these are, and over time you will. At first, when you check this out, it might be overwhelming, but over time, you will start to understand like what is a lint test versus a type safety check and a unit test. But pretty much, the agents will take care of the linting and making sure that everything's integrated, everything within your software that you're building, all the different features are integrated with each other, that they work together. And then you'll have to do a human review. And another way to look at this pyramid is the human will take care of just like doing a manual test, just run the software, see if you see any issues. It's just a mechanical test that you run and check to see if you're noticing any issues. One thing I love to do is I love to test for the extreme scenarios. Similar to like when these automobile companies be testing out a new car, they'll test a car in the most extreme climates, even though the average driver is not going to do wheelies in the desert. They still test these cars in extreme conditions, and that's what you ought to do with your code, especially when you're validating whether or not your agents built the right code or not. That's a great thing to do, is just to think about what are some of the most extreme cases that you'll be using this software that you're building. And, is the software that's being built by these agents, can they survive, some of the most extreme cases that are still practical for you to, build this code with, or for you to use this code with. Secondly, you can do a code review. A lot of people, even myself, like, you don't necessarily need to know how to code, but what's important though is that you ask your agents what has changed. And you try to understand as much as you can what's happening under the hood. And the more you do that, the more you understand the code that's being built and the code that will be built for future projects. So you always want to ask and get as much information that you can digest, that you can absorb. With every time you validate, you just ask your agent, like, what's changed? What did you do? And, you got to ask, like, okay, does this make sense? Does it make sense for your agent to do this or not? So that's one thing that you'll want to do as well. And then for your AI coding assistant, you can have it run.
Recording in progress.
Oops. Yeah, you can have it run a unit test and an integration test too. But that's about it. And then the general anatomy of agentic coding, coded projects, usually, just to give you a quick lay of the land, if you're using Codex, Claude Code, these are just the concepts, but pretty much there's a file, a text file, when you're doing a agentic coding project, there's a file called the claude.md, or if you're using Codex, it's called agents.md, and this is where the global rules are located that I shared earlier. This is where, like, the principles that the agent should follow, like what type of code, what language of the code should the agent be using. All of that is listed in the Claude or agents.md. There will be a skills folder, and the skills folder is just like, if you have a specific process or a certain workflow that your agents follow, then that'll be under the skills folder. Your .env file, that's where all of your API keys are located. This is where, like, your most sensitive data is shared, but your agents use this so they can access different platforms online. But you never want to share your .env file. Just keep it secret. And then you'll also have a docs and temp folder. So usually the temp folder is what the agents, when the agents are building something, very often they will put, whatever they build for you to review. They'll very often put it in the temp folder. And then the docs folder, that's very often, that's used as references very often. Or if you have an official document that future agents will refer to, very often that'll be in the docs folder as well. So this is just a little bit of a deeper dive. The agent, they bring the different model. They might have their own different loops that they handle on the back end. And then they also, you can offer and you can add tools and permissions as well. But this entire anatomy, it's very similar, whether you're using, or it is pretty much the same, but different naming, whether you're using Codex or Claude or another agent. But yeah, one final note with getting started. The barrier to entry is as low as it's ever been. You can really get started with either a friend's business, like what I did, or you can get started at work. And, very often, like a lot of these companies, every company has a CEO. I personally believe at a certain point, if a company is going to start to use AI enough, there's going to be a CAIO where there's going to be a chief AI operator or officer, someone that understands the AI for a company. So, if you're going to be one of the first people to use AI within your company, you will be able to build expertise. You'll be able to build a reputation as being the one person that knows and understands AI within your company, and you could very well get promoted. So even just building tools for AI, whether they're existing tools that you can use and implement, or you want to build your own thing, you can do that as well. The other thing is you can work on a passion project. Um, this is like a shameless shout out, but Marie Petillon, she created her own YouTube channel. She created her own YouTube channel which makes meditation music, and that started out as a passion project, but she's now collecting revenue. But very often, if you find something that you really enjoy and you think that you can build with AI or build it with AI, chances are you can. You just have to build a plan around it, and then you need to do research with your agent and understand the process of how to build with these agents. And then also pick a way to learn. I recommend picking all three, and I'm actually doing all three. I don't do too many YouTube tutorials anymore, but when I got started, when I didn't know where to like find things and how to build stuff, I did start out with a YouTube tutorial. And you're gonna find good channels and bad channels. It's gonna happen. But I do recommend, find a YouTube tutorial that you can trust or a YouTube channel that you can trust. Um, and very often they'll provide their own tutorials. You can also join a community. We have our own community that we're building. We'd be happy to have you, but there's a lot of communities that you can join. We recommend going with what you trust and what you feel good with. And then also, lastly, I do, even though I said you don't need a computer science degree to get started, there is still a lot of timeless advice that classic literature, like the Pragmatic Programmer, provides when you read these classic literature computer science books. And there's surprisingly there are plenty of books that don't dive too deep into the coding, but they just talk about the principles that you should follow. Like, for instance, in the Pragmatic Programmer, that book's been around for 30 years. A big principle, that one of the many principles that they teach is like you never want to have a duplicate within your code, because it confuses your software. And that's a timeless bit of advice where when you're building with AI, you might start to notice your agent doing something or going off the rails, and having that knowledge of from reading, classic computer science and software engineering literature, having that knowledge from those books, it'll make you an even better agentic engineer than what you would be without reading that literature. So, stay humble and stay hungry and just keep building. And that's everything. So I'll open it for questions if anyone has any questions. Otherwise, it's been, my pleasure, presenting in front of everyone.
Thank you, Brian. It was really a nice presentation. I really appreciate it because knowing the core value of what you're doing, like when you heard people talk about AI, so we just like try to go jump into it, but not knowing like the core value or what it's mean, what is having a system, agentic AI in place, why it's so good, why it's so valuable to have it. You're going in details, and it's really, because we all want to build. That's all. The first thing, oh, I need to learn a prompt. I want to build, but without having a structure in place. And you just show us how to get a structure in place, and also how to better use all those systems. And also, I wanted to share before you leave, Brian, that we also, with everyone listening, we have a boot camp coming soon. It might start in the next 2 weeks, it might start in the next 3 weeks, but we will keep you posted. And if you have registered, you will receive an email sending you update about the boot camp. The boot camp, actually, we do have a discount now. It was $4.99, and it's just when we have a discount code for $100. Now it's $3.99. So you don't want to miss out on the discount because it will go fast. It's only for the 10-15 people who registered for the boot camp, where you will have professional like me, Marie, Brian, Jean, and T working one-on-one with you, building your own system. It doesn't matter what kind of business you have, we will be there to help you step by step. And this is very valuable. It's a $20,000 value that we're going to give you for only $4.99, which is now $3.99. You want to take advantage to this discount. You don't want to let it go, because soon it will be, after 10 or 15 people, it will be gone. So just, if my email is marie@mpsolutionai.com, you can always email me or follow me on Facebook. Facebook is Fabi Pition, or IG at MP Solution AI. Feel free to contact me anytime. And it was nice having everyone here. I'm live streaming on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, just go on the description. You will see all the information. Go sign up. It's never too late to sign up or upgrade to VIP. Just to let you know, you can have all the recording. The recording are available for only VIPs, and also all the materials. And we also have a few bonuses available for you guys. You wanna upgrade to VIP. Everything is in the description on YouTube. Go ahead and upgrade. It was nice having everyone. And Brian, if you do not have anything else to add, we will end the session right now.
Yep, I'm all set. Thank you very much.